Welcome to the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann, and this is the show where we bridge the gaps, one story at a time. And today we are talking with certified fitness trainer and nutrition specialist, Jamar McKinney. You might know him by Jay Mack. How you doing, Jay Mack?
I'm well. How are you?
I am awesome.
Good.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for the invite.
You are quite welcome. You're
you.
quite welcome. I know that you are doing your thing here in the city of Detroit and around the metro area.
Mm-hmm.
You have a new book that's coming out. And I wanted to talk to you because I wanted to kind of talk to you about who you are as a person. Mm-hmm. If I were to ask you what the difference was between the Jay Mack of today versus Jamar McKinney of 10 years ago, what would be the difference?
The difference is I am a man who have accepted who I am, flaws and all, and I love them. Mm-hmm. And also a man who has accepted Christ to spearhead my life.
Wow.
Which was 10 years ago. You probably couldn't even talk to me about God.
Mm-hmm.
I was just, in my late 20s and doing my thing, but today he is the person who has guided me, and that's who Jay Mack is defined by.
Right.
A man of God.
Right. Wow. So when we look at maybe 5 years ago, right before you started a new youth fitness camp, what was your life like at that time?
5 years ago, before a new you or anything became into existence, Jay Mack, I was just simply Jamar. 5 years ago, I was lost. I was a lost soul. No one could ever tell because I wore a smile and I have a thick layer of skin, but deep down inside, I was fragile. I was broken. I was lost and just wandering around, living life on a daily basis and not even knowing my purpose of living 5 years ago. And I was hurt. I had every emotion in me that could have had a negative impact on me was there. And no one ever knew until I told you. And I was literally broken into pieces.
What was that like? Like, what was the brokenness? Where did it come from?
Not accepting myself, not loving myself, and yearning to be accepted by the wrong individuals, wrong crowd. A sense of loneliness at one point. I mean, you can have a fleet of friends, or you can so-called friends. You can be around a group of people, but you can still be lonely. And I was at that time, and I was missing a big gap in my life.
Wow. So what was the thing that turned your life around?
Turned my life around. Thing that turned my life around. In that stage where I was broken, I was down, I was just unhappy. I asked God one day. I said, "What is wrong? Is it me, or what can I do to change this around?" And he literally, one day I got up out the bed, just a normal day, and went into the bathroom to use it, start my day, and I hit the floor. I fell. And there was nothing wrong, no pain or anything. I hit the floor and I just bust into tears like, what is going on? What's wrong? I mean, I just started talking to God. I had a conversation with God. And I can tell you that when you have a conversation with him and you succumb to God and you ask him to come into your life and fix it, it's the best conversation you can have in your life. And I can tell you many years, I am 37 years old, and that is one conversation, one voice that will always stick with me for the rest of my life. And it was clear as day, and I heard it just so clear. All I wanted you to do is succumb to me, break down, and ask me to enter your life. And at that time I begged him. I begged him for forgiveness, and I begged him to enter my life and not only enter it, but spearhead my life from this point. I need this. It's not for me. It is for me, but it was more, I needed him, and that was the gap that needed to be filled. And I did not realize it until I asked him, what is it? And from that point, the story was written.
Was it?
Yeah.
Now, you, during this time, you have changed your life drastically. And sometimes when we change our lives drastically, all the people that were in our midst, because we're changing and they're not, or did you have that situation where you were changing and the people around you were not? And if so, like, what was that like for you?
You know, one thing I've learned in my following, my spiritual following, is that everyone is not going to see your vision. They're not going to see your dream. Therefore, don't expect for them to fulfill it or walk in it. It's all up to you. And when I was changing, I was tested, but it's okay. God is going to test you in certain situations. And, you know, we know to keep our enemies at bay. And while God is working, believe me, the devil is too. And the devil's going to use anyone he can to get to you. And like I said, we keep our enemies at bay, so that the devil will try to use someone in your close circle. I mean, I was tested at certain points, and I was faced with certain situations. But when you get to the point where you actually walk away from certain situations, certain people, it's like a burden lifted off of you. Without any confrontation or anything, you can just walk away from a situation. It's fine. It's fine, because you're going to this level and you cannot let any situation or anybody bring you back down, because we are clawing our ways to the top. Why let someone bring you down? It's okay to walk away. You can be called a punk, you can be called a coward, whatever. But you know what you are, and you know who's working with you. So that's all that matters. You don't have to prove anything to nobody. And that's why I tell my warriors, who are my clients, you don't have to prove anything to nobody. As long as you know your path and what you have to do in your destiny, it's okay. People are going to stop communicating with you. It was tested. I was tested a lot. You know, I was the one that got on the phone. I love to sip the tea and get the shade. I love it. I used to. But when I started to alleviate that out of my life, because you're just as guilty as, if you're listening to it, you're just as guilty as the person telling it. So I had to shut that off. And it's okay. Because when the day was over with, when that phone stopped ringing, because don't want to go out and party to 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, or you don't want to party all night, or you don't want to, deal with a certain situation or a certain somebody because they're not good for you, that phone stopped ringing. It was okay. You know why? Because that gave me more time to open up my Bible. Go online and listen to T.D. Jakes or anyone's sermon. Hey, I got this time for you. I can go to Bible study now. Or so it gave me more time to focus on God, the path that He put me on, and how to walk this path. So it was okay. Everything happens for a reason. Don't question it. That's my thing. And I tell all my warriors, do not question it. If He's removing certain things out of your life, just go with the process. And I think that's what's wrong with some people today. We ask Him to enter our lives, but we question or we block so much because we don't want to let go of certain things. You have to let Him do His job. Let Him do His job. Back up, say, hey, every night, thank God. Every morning I get up, what's new today? I want to be better than I was yesterday. I challenge myself. I compete with myself. Awesome. You said something that I feel is very important, that you had to find your purpose, or that the purpose that God had given to you. What would you say is that purpose? My purpose is to utilize this gift that He has given me to help others. God has given every one of us a talent and a gift. It's up to you to dig deep inside yourself to pull it out. And that gift is to bless others with. So by me being a fitness coach, nutrition specialist, life coach. That's what he gave me. And I finally figured it out like 4 years ago. Like, I can help someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I can help someone else. That's what we're here for.
Right.
He has given me the strength to help other people. I mean, there's days I have 14-hour, 16-hour days, and I just be like, how did I do it?
Yeah.
Strength.
So when you think about the physical aspect of training for you, have you always been this physically fit?
No.
What changed for you to get this physically fit? Like, what happened?
To be honest, I've always been stick and bones. If I did not work out, I would probably be 20 pounds less. So all of this is muscle. But at one point I went on a vacation in Mexico, and I looked at the pictures and I was like, ugh. I hated them. And I can't even look at those pictures to this day. So I just started working out. But in 2011, that's when I got really serious with it. And I seen that it was a stress reliever. I seen that it was good for me. I seen how it built my confidence. And I seen the positive impact it had on my life. So I said, if I can do this to myself, let me see if this will work with someone else. So I brought someone else in and I helped him lose over 50 pounds. He was just working out with me. I wasn't certified, didn't have a business or anything. And he lost it. And the key thing was, which is part of my motto, is restoring the confidence in you. And I see that the confidence was restored in me. So then I had other people telling me that too that worked out with me. And I was like, you know what? This may be my calling.
Right. Wow.
That's it.
Wow. So here it is. You've made this physical transformation. You've also made this spiritual transformation. Would you dare to say that the culmination of both of those have kind of catapulted your life into where you are today?
Yes. Yes. More importantly, the spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the spiritual. I am in a better shape than I've ever been in my life. And to go back on the question that you asked 10 years ago, I was not like this. And it's just more than physical. I am mentally stronger, physically stronger, and spiritually stronger. So, yeah. But spiritual overtakes the physical.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And so when we talk about the spiritual, because I know that, being a spirit-filled person and having a whole, complete person, what's it feel like to be whole, as we kind of cliche say, like being whole? What does that feel like for you?
Now, I don't feel like I'm whole. I don't.
You don't?
No.
So what do you feel?
I feel that I'm a work in progress on a daily basis. I don't feel like I'm whole. He's not done with me. I feel it every day. So I am not what I used to be. Mm-hmm. And I thank God for that. But every day is a new task, new obstacle, and a new step in the right direction. So, I'm not whole. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
There are some issues. I wouldn't say issues. They're just life process that we have to go through. Mm-hmm. And some of those process that we have to go through on our journey are kind of difficult. Mm-hmm. What are some things that you can say that you've had that were kind of difficult, but you've overcome them at this stage in your life?
Overcame them. A lot of people don't believe this, and I'm a person that live in my truth, and because I'm not ashamed of what I used to be. I'm not. And we don't judge on the past. We should not judge either, because that's not our job. That is God's job. But one thing I did overcome is depression, alcohol abuse, and I was in a domestic violence relationship. Mm-hmm. So those are things that helped me when I took this path with God, is to forgive those who may have done me wrong in the past. And I was able to do that, forgive them and move on.
Wow.
And when He's going to put you to the test, and I was put to many tests, I was placed in front of those who may have done me wrong, or I'm not exempt. I have done people wrong, because in my madness, my depression, I was not the nicest person. I was a hothead. I will pop off in a heartbeat. So it took me to go back and apologize to them too, whether it was a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, whether they accepted it or not. I had to do what I had to do. And that was part of me of confronting those who have done me wrong and I have done wrong. And I would say that 90% it was good. It was awesome. I mean, some of those people I talked to today.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, we are going to take a quick break. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Focus One Entertainment is Detroit's premier entertainment company. But we're not just an entertainment company. We are your #1 multimedia resource. Focus One has combined years of talent and experience in order to bring you what you're looking for in a video, a polished professional product. F1 Entertainment specializes in filming workshops, seminars, and corporate presentations. More and more businesses are utilizing video production services to create web virtuals, online marketing content, and promotional and corporate training videos. Your company can do the same with Focus One Entertainment. Contact Focus One Entertainment at 313-444-3638 or visit us on the web at www.focusoneentertainment.com.
And we are back. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. And this is the show where we bridge the gaps one story at a time. And today we are listening to Jay Mack's story. He is a certified trainer and nutrition specialist. And he has a holistic, I believe, I think it's holistic, training and transformations, fitness. So tell us a little bit about what it is that you do with your warriors.
With the warriors, first, when they come on board, when they become a part of the A New You family, we tap into their goals. Mm-hmm. We tap into what they want, what they're looking for, why they hired me. And because when the day is over with, I work for them. They hire me, I work for them. So whether we are doing meal planning, or if we're doing meal prepping, or just fitness exercising to meet their goals.
In the instance of you have new clients that come in, mm-hmm. And most people haven't worked out before. Mm-hmm. And not only have they not worked out before, they may think that they're ready, but mentally they may not be. Mm-hmm. What are some of the things that you help people to get through mentally in order to be able to work out?
Mentally, the key thing and that's good that you asked that question, because the first thing is that you may want to look like this, you may want to look like this, but you have to have a conversation with yourself. Not only with yourself. And you have to reflect on what you're going to do to get to this goal, or why do you want to make this change, first of all, and what steps are you going to take to make this change. Now, the step is accepting that you want to make the change mentally. Then when you hire me, then we get together a plan, and then you have to tell yourself you're going to follow this plan, because I'm not with you 24/7, but you have to trust yourself that you're going to follow this plan, whether I have you on a diet plan, an exercise plan, but you have to follow it. So it does start with mental. That's the mental process. And then once we get it mentally, I want this, I need this. It comes in various ranges. People want to go on a vacation. People want a total lifestyle change. People got bad news from a doctor, and they want to, they need to lower their cholesterol. Blood pressure is high. They need to do things. So get it mentally, then we start working on it physically.
Right.
Then we get it nutrition, get you all in the program together.
Right.
And mental is very important. It's the first thing.
And I believe that. I believe that for a number of reasons. A lot of people, not only is it difficult to like exercise, but also for them, you know, in that mental capacity thing, there are some other things that have happened in their lives. And I kind of want to reflect a little bit on that, if you will. Sometimes, and what I mean by that is sometimes we have people who have dealt with some not mental health issues, but some things that have affected them mentally. And although they want to kind of work out, it's kind of hard to do that. They come to you. What are some of the things that you've had to deal with, or how have you been able to help people move past those types of issues?
Well, you know, I can't go really into depth about, you know, certain things because of confidentiality. But when I tap into it, I do. I want to know what is hindering you and why. And is it still going on currently, or is it in the past? If it's in the past, we can work through it. That's why I'm here. I'm a coach. We're going to work through it. My life is not perfect, and I understand yours is not either, but we can work to it together. Work on it together. If it's currently, okay, then we can sit down and we can work with this to get whatever obstacle that you're facing, we can jump over it together. So,
Yeah.
I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. When we are walking into a space where we're wanting to live better, look better, and feel better, and a lot of times we think that, you know, we're gonna get this like 4 weeks later and we should look like you. What normally is the transition period, and does it have anything to do with like body type?
It does have a lot to do with body type, but a lot of times when I say I want it to look like this in 4 weeks, I just pull out my magic wand and I just, no. But one thing I follow as a coach, and I do a lot of reading on my spare time, but one thing I do follow is the SMART acronym, and I push that on my warriors too. And the two things that is really, really, really important is the R and the T. You have to make sure you're reasonable. Make sure your goal is reasonable. And the T is make sure you do it in a timely manner. A is achievable. You know, M is measurable. And you have to follow. That's what I do, is follow that. And I force that on them to follow it, because you say you want to lose 30 pounds in 4 weeks. I know you must going to stop eating, because that's just you know, not realistic. Right. But you want to lose. It's not healthy at all either. And if you don't lose this 30 pounds in 4 weeks, you get discouraged. And that's one thing I teach my warriors, is that you have to be realistic, because if you don't get there, then you get disappointed. And then it's like a mental tear down. Well, I didn't get there and I'm just going to give up. And that's one thing I don't like. We do not give up. We do not stop. We do not halt. Keep going. Keep going. So, yeah, hope that answers the question.
Yeah, that does. When we are talking about nutrition, and for us, you know, most African Americans, I don't know about a whole lot of different cultures, but sometimes we eat like Thanksgiving every day, and I have been told that there are certain foods that we normally eat now, that we can still eat them, not in just moderations, but it's how we prepare them. So talk to us a little bit about food and how we prepare those foods.
Food is good. I'm a foodie, and I would tell anybody I love to eat. I'm a foodie, but it's all about what you're eating, how it's prepared, when you're eating it. So you can eat. You know, people try to stay away from carbs. They think that, you know, somebody created this trend. If you don't eat carbs, you're going to lose all this weight, and you need carbs. Your body needs carbs. You need something to energize you. Carbs is food, is fuel for energy. So you need carbs, but it's about what carbs you're eating, when you're eating those carbs, and again, how it's prepared. I tell everyone, my warriors, if they're on my 12 to 20 and 30 program, and which is going to describe in the book too, on the road to a new you, is that you can eat what you want. It's just in the moderation. Now the warriors, they're on a 6-day plan, allowing that 7th day to be a pleaser's day. I don't call it a cheat day because you're not cheating yourself. If you did 6 days a week, you are due a pleaser's day. I just seen a study this week, they said that take a break from your diet, then go back to it. I yell at my warriors all the time, don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. So if you're doing it 6 days a week, the 7th day you can eat like it's Thanksgiving, eat like it's Christmas. But I can tell you too, once you get accustomed to this style of eating, you will probably, your appetite changes. So you're not going to probably want what you used to have a craving for. Like I used to be a French fry fanatic. I hate it now. I don't like it. I don't like the smell of frying grease no more.
Really?
I can't stand it.
Wow.
Cannot stand it.
So what are some easier meals that we can prepare for ourselves that don't take a long time?
If you give yourself, it's football season. During football season, watching a game, you can prepare your meals while you're doing that. The game is on for 3 hours. You'll be done before that game is over with. I do it every Sunday. I stand in my kitchen, watch the game, and prepare my meals. It's simple. You can get brown rice, that's your good carb. Frozen vegetables, which are $1 at most supermarkets today. Chicken breast, steak, any beef, pork. Or if you're going, I know a lot of people don't eat red meat, turkey meat. And with the diet too, we stay away from processed food because you do not know what's in it. And a lot of times what we find in this processed food is what's making you sick. So we stay away from the processed food, but it's really simple. And I can tell you, the warriors I have worked with, the first time it probably took them 3 hours. They're just like me now. They're knocking it out in an hour. Meal prep for the next 3 or 4 days, they're knocking it out in an hour. Wow. So once you get the regimen, get your bags together, about an hour.
And why is it so important to really prep your food or to do meal prep? Why is it so important to do that?
Because what I find is that we are busy. People are busy every day. Kids, employment, spouses, we're busy. So therefore, it's so easy to grab or stop at a drive-through and pick up something that's not good for us, but it's fast. Then why not go into your refrigerator and grab something that you prep that is good for you, it's working for your goal, and most importantly, it's good for you. And I think that with the busy life, it's so easier to grab and go. Right. Well, if you meal prep, you can still grab and go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we are going to take a quick break. This is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. I'm your host, Kai Mann. We'll be right back.
Iology Inc., an innovative, navigational, and creative company that works with its clients from the inside out. We believe in walking our clients hand in hand, from concept creation to brand management. Our innovative process assists our clients in conceptualizing, developing, building, rebuilding, or restructuring their lives, businesses, and brands. Are you ready to be seen, heard, and remembered? Contact us at iologyinc.com.
Focus. The state or quality of having or producing clear definition. Focus One Entertainment is the premier videography company in the Midwest. We specialize in weddings, corporate events, documentaries, sporting events, and films. Regardless of the scope or budget, We approach every project the same way, by capturing and clearly defining your vision. Contact us at 313-444-3638 or www.focusoneEntertainment.com.
And we are back. This is the Conversations with Mann show. I'm your host, Mann, and we're talking to Jay Mack. He is a certified fitness trainer and nutrition specialist. So let's go back a little bit. So when we talk about nutrition, what does that actually mean when we talk nutrition? So when we're talking about the nutrition piece of it, or the part of it, what does that mean? I mean, are we eating? Okay, I'll give you an example. Today, I was listening to a YouTube video because I'm the YouTube junkie, and this one video that I was listening to, and they're talking about how we eat food, and basically that however it is that we believe about that food, its nutritious value, that's kind of how we eat. If we think something's bad for us, then it really is bad for us because that's what we believe. But if you kind of attack food in the sense of, it's all good, it all has some nutritional value, then it's okay to eat. So what do you think about nutrition?
Well, what I say to nutrition is our body is our temple. And you can either drive a Benz or let's say, a Ford Fiesta. When you drive a Benz, that's a luxury vehicle. Most luxury vehicles only allow you to put premium fuel inside of that vehicle, versus like a Ford Fiesta or Focus, where you could put 87, 89. So if your body is this Benz, and why not treat it like that? So if you're going to eat something bad, or it's bad for you, why put it in your system? 70 to 80% of what we eat is how we look and how we perform on a daily basis. You're going to eat bad food, it's not going to agree with you. You may feel bad and sluggish. If you eat good food, you're going to be up and energetic. It's going to change the appearance of you. Eating right, nutritional value is not only just to get you full, but also it affects the way you think on a daily basis. I think everyone, that has that works, need to be on their, P's and Q's. All I's should be dotted, all T's should be crossed. And that's one thing I teach to my warriors, is that it affects you overall. Some people come to me and they say, well, I was still hungry after I had lunch or a snack. Again, it's about what you're eating and how important it is. You can be full. You can eat, food is fuel for the energy, and fuel for your body. So I always say, put that premium food in you. Eat right, eat good. It plays a big, important part of your life. 70 to 80%, come on now. That's more than half. Why not treat yourself? Don't cheat yourself. Treat yourself.
What are some foods that we really should be eating that we probably haven't even really thought of to eat to help fuel our bodies?
I personally love avocados. It's a good fat. It's a good soluble fat. It is filling. Avocados, cashews, carrots are really good. Red meat is fine. Red meat is okay. It's just all about how you're preparing it. But I know some people don't like red meat, or they have weaned themselves off of eating red meat, but any meat is fine. It's just how you prepare it. But some foods, veggies are really good for you. Carrots improve your eyesight. Everything play a role until getting you healthier, getting you to a new you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about getting to a new you. Why should we be wanting to get to a new you? What's wrong with the old us?
Well, there's nothing wrong with the old anybody. I want to make that clear. There's nothing wrong with the old anybody. You do what you please, but when you come to a new you, when you're coming to me, evidently there's something that you want to change, or there's something that you need improving on, or you need help with. So that's why I call it a new you, because a new you every day is a new start, a new beginning. You can either take a step backwards, or you can take a step forward. So I am here to coach you to go forward instead of backwards. So that's why it is a new you. Again, there's nothing wrong with the old you. I mean, you know, you do what you do, but when you are coming on board to a new you, certain things will have to be altered from the old you to a new you. Not taking everything away, but, you know, let's do a little modification. Let's say I have 3 glasses of wine throughout the week. I have a stressful job. Okay, well, let's break it down. Let's go to 2 days. And after we wean you off that 3rd day, let's go to 2 days. Then we'll go to 1 day. So it's always modification. So there's nothing wrong with the old you, but everybody that walked the face of this earth can use some type of improvement with their diet or with their exercise regimen. Everybody, even me. I'm always online reading and changing it up. My warriors know when they come into a session, they know, oh God, what are we about to do now? And you know, it's just, you change it up. You got to keep it interesting. So that's why I call it a new you. But again, nothing's wrong with the old you. When you come to me, I am going to dissect everything.
Yeah.
Everything. And I said, oh, we could tweak this and make this a little better, you know.
How does one when they come to you and they start doing this exercise regimen, in the first, I guess, couple days, I know people are like sore, and how do you know, or let's just even say this, how do you kind of know what's a good sore or what's a bad soreness?
If it is unbearable or excruciating pain, then that is a bad sore. If it's something that does not get better over 3 to a 5 day period, then that is a problem too. But again, your muscles have memory, and when you are doing something new, you're going to get sore because you're using muscles that you normally do not use. In the fitness world, we say 21 days is the make or break when we first get someone on board. So the first 21 days, the 3 weeks are always a test. And it's all about coaching them through those 21 days and therefore after. But to do the proper stretching techniques, to eat the proper food so they would not be so sore. Most importantly, you have to you're a coach, so you are schooling them on how to prevent soreness. I hear the term all the time, no pain, no gain. You shouldn't be, walking around like you can't walk or something, but there's going to be a little pain. But once you get on board with the exercise program and the proper stretching techniques and the proper diet, the diet has a lot to do with your post-exercise feelings.
How so?
Well, you got to eat, like I tell my warriors all the time, after you work out, eat potassium, eat magnesium. That helps with soreness. Stretch twice a day, as soon as you get up in the morning and before you go to bed. And that helps with the soreness. A lot of people don't know bananas. Bananas should be your best friend before and after a workout, because bananas really help you with soreness. I've been working out for years, almost a decade now, And I can count probably on both hands how many times I was sore to the point where I couldn't function. So, but I had good teachers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have good teachers that have schooled me. So.
Right. So, talk to us a little bit about your book, on the road to a new you. Tell us a little bit about that book.
The book is designed to help everyone, common people, the everyday working people, on how to meet your weight goal, whether you're trying to lose or gain, because you have a lot of men who want to gain muscle. Mm-hmm. The book is designed to lead you through the meal prepping process, the mental process. It starts off getting with the mentality, the mental process, then going into your kitchen, cleaning out the cupboards and etc. The shopping process, what you should be looking for when you go shopping. I don't want to give too much away, but what you should be looking for, what type of foods. It also gives a guideline of what you should be eating on a day-by-day basis. 6 days a week, giving your 7th day that pleasers day. The book also has some of my recipes, my favorite food, and I think it's a really good treat for people who actually want to take this journey to a new you. Mm-hmm. And they want to jump on this road. It is a good journey.
Wow. And so you yourself have been on this journey.
Yes.
And why don't you tell us like the most rewarding part about the entire journey from beginning to end? Mm-hmm. Or not even end, because it's still happening.
Yeah, it's still happening. The best rewarding part is knowing that I am taking care of myself. I am putting myself, my nutrition first, my exercise regimen first. I am taking care of myself to prevent things such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, things that run in my family. I'm trying to prevent that. You always want to be a step ahead before you get a step behind. Mm-hmm. I am trying to prevent on this good diet. When you go to the doctor's like, wow, you know, you're in good health. That's who everyone wants to hear that. Right. Your health is good. So I'm trying to get a step ahead to get you on this path. And with getting you the step ahead, it's not that hard. It's not hard. It's not hard. I mean, just for example, I hear people that they say healthy food is more expensive. Well, I'd rather spend an extra $30 on my food than go spend $30 on one meal that probably is not good for me. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who prepared it, how it's prepared, and what's in it. So it's all about investing in yourself. And by buying this book, you invest in yourself. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job. Well, I want you to tell us how we can reach out to you, your social media, your website. Tell us how we can become a new us.
All right. So my website is www.anewyouFitnessCampDET.com, and I'm on Instagram, JMackPT, or a new you. A new you DET, and it's actually _new_YOU_DET. And on Facebook, Jay Mack.
Awesome. If there was something that you could leave our viewers with, what would that be?
You are not achieving unless you are believing.
And tell us why we're not.
Why you're not achieving?
Mm-hmm.
You're not achieving. It goes back to the mental state. Until you believe that you can do this and take the efforts. You can tell yourself every day, I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start the diet tomorrow. I'm going to get my gym membership next week. I'm going to get it. But until you take that initial step, then you're not trying to achieve anything. You're talking. Mm-hmm. I am a person that is more of show me better than talk to me. I'm an action person versus a verbal person. And all my friends and family, they get on me and they be like, you don't say nothing, you just did this. I'm a more action person. I'd rather show you than sit around and talk about it and twiddle my thumbs.
We thank you for coming on the show and telling us about who you are and what it is that you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And this is the Conversations with Kai Mann show. Thank you and good night.